biblical proportion. Biblical. What it means is Old Testament. Yeah, they are real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling. 40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes, the sea rising from the grave. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria.
Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining in the show. Here we are. We are here on the 25th day of February in the year 2023. It's 9:27 here on the East Coast. Of course, here I am doing what I was born to do. I was born to host on a Saturday morning, and of course, you were born to listen. Of course, what you were doing on a Saturday morning years and years and years ago, think about the time when you were a wee lad or a wee chap, I guess, if you will. You were a wee little person. Is that, yeah, we can say person, right? That doesn't offend anybody if I say person. So, well, yeah. No. So here we are. We're broadcasting live. And I want you to think about the time when you were a child. Yeah, when you were a child, one of the things that was amazing is that you would wake up on Saturday morning, and here you would find yourself running down the stairs, grabbing a bowl of cereal, and sitting in front of the TV for several hours, over and over and over again. And what you would do is you would sit there eating your bowl of cereal, and you would be watching cartoons. Why? Is because Saturday was one of the most magical places that you could be. Snap, crackle, pop, indeed, roundhead. LOL, anime figure statues, Big M, I see you, Lone Dragon, of course, in the chat, MC DJ, you know what, last night, I don't know what happened, but I think the screen was wet and my little felt fingers ended up blocking you, or putting you in timeout on the Kaz stream. So I just want to say right out of the gate that was not something that was intentional. And so if you felt upset, I just want you to shout out MC DJ ACDC. I mean, if you say that a couple of times fast, it would be really difficult. But anyway, shout out to you, sir. Sorry about last night. I don't know exactly what happened. Casper, are you familiar with Casper? Casper CDG. Can't access the live here on TikTok. Not sure exactly what's going on TikTok. So, well, TikTok is where we're the most popular. 7,300 plus on TikTok. Casper, though, shout out to Casper. Shout out to White Vegeta as well. Casper says, I identify as a. What did he say? Hold on, wait a minute. He said, I identified as a retired man. Someone write me a check. Well, it's probably because what you ended up doing was going out to Target and buying a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff from NECA, which usually is garbage, but it seems like they've gotten a little bit better on the ball. But you're familiar with Casper? If you're not, it's Casper at Casper, CASPERCDG. Probably one of the best Ninja Turtle collectors that I've seen. You know, of course, I would be one to, well, as someone who's interviewed April O'Neil. Well, you know, I interviewed April. Yeah, I did that at GalaxyCon back in August, or into July and August of last year. Remember what I asked her? Well, I said, well, is pineapple a valid topping on pizza? And of course, she said, absolutely. Now, this is in the green room. So this is behind the scenes. Wasn't on video. But, you know, of course, as being a real media puppet, I'm sitting there in the green room with all these celebrities, William Shatner, you know, just hanging out, having subs and bags of potato chips, you know, with William Shatner, because of course that's what I do, you know, here at these conventions, of course. No, well, I mean, listen, I can't bother those people. We're all eating subs in the back. We're eating subs and eating potato chips. Yes, of course, my little puffy felt fingers They're getting all those little Cheeto crumbs on them, but that's okay. Because what I'm doing is I'm eating a sub sandwich with William Shatner. Not only that, of course, other people. Brendan Fraser, yes, had that experience as well. Good morning, my people. Shout out to Toy Cartel. Shout out to Triple D. See everybody, of course, in the chat. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Here we are. We are broadcasting live here on the 25th day of February, the year 2023. It is 9:33 here on the East Coast. It's been an interesting week in terms of, in terms of weather. Yeah, well, the weather has been interesting. No, it's felt really good. I think today is going to be pretty good as well. One of the things about the weather that is not great was the fact that, like I said, where did I say that we were broadcasting out of? Yeah, the University of Richmond. The University of Richmond. Yeah, so are you familiar with what happened last night? That's exactly what she said. No. I'm talking about like what happened last night. So it was the annual like VCU Richmond. Well, of course, they play each other twice a year, once at the Robins Center and once downtown at the Siegel Center. But VCU and Richmond played last night. And of course, VCU rides rebounding defense to finish the season with a sweep of the UR Spiders. Now, of course, I have my crew back behind the glass over there. They were Richmond Spiders alum. Well, they were. Well, I'm just a trusted media puppet. I'm just a trusted media puppet, just telling you the fact that VCU, the local rivals, ended up beating Richmond. Yeah, I know it stings. It stings. VCU did not play along with whatever magic and momentum the University of Richmond had conjured in its first game under the interim coach, Peter Thomas. The Rams squelched the Spiders behind tough defense, point guard Ace Baldwin's mastery, and onslaught of offensive rebounds before a sellout crowd on Friday at the Siegel Center, beating Richmond 73-58 to sweep the regular season series. Yeah, so they swept it. Yeah, I know. That's the last thing that, of course, people over here in Spiderland want to hear the first thing on a Saturday morning. Hell, you know what, though? They're probably asleep anyway. You know, most of them are probably asleep anyway. Well, because of the workload is stressful. I'm not implying the fact that they got plastered last night at some fraternity or sorority party. No, that's not the case. No, I'm just saying it's very stressful in terms of the workload around here. You get to Friday night, you just want to crash out. Has nothing to do with alcohol. What do you think this is over here? No, it has nothing to do with that. With 2 regular season games remaining, VCU locked up one of the top 4 seeds and a double bye in the Atlantic 10 tournament. The win also enabled the Rams to maintain a slim lead over Dayton, the battle for the conference top spot. So the Spiders rallied to beat St. Louis in Thomas's first game on Tuesday. Yes, because we talked about it last week that Mooney, the coach here over at the coach over here, well, he's no longer playing this year. I mean, well, he's no longer coaching. That's what I meant. Yeah. Well, he's no longer coaching. Well, because he has a lot of medical stuff that he needs to be taken care of. So we wish him and his family the best. But anyways, VCU won the first meeting at Richmond, 74-62 on February 20th. The Rams put 5 players in double figures and built a 21-point lead in the second half of that game. This time they opened a 60-36 lead after back-to-back triples in transition from Baldwin and Watkins with 10 minutes remaining before UR whittled down the margin. So that's what happened. Of course, Richmond lost, and that's unfortunate because here we are broadcasting live out of the University of Richmond. So snap into a Slim Jim. Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, so we are broadcasting live, WDCE 90.1 FM. What that is, that's a real radio broadcast signal. So real radio broadcast signal. I had a couple of songs here right out of the gate. The Littles, the Scooby-Doo Mysteries, Tito Santana. And of course, I have another deep cut coming in just a few seconds after we have Dave call up here in just a few moments. Yeah, so Dave should be calling up here in just a few moments. We'll be talking. Hold on, let me get the phone. Make sure I get the phone all set up. Anyway, so yeah, so once Dave shows up, we'll be able to talk about his deep cut. Dave is actually a busy man. He's traveling around. He's going to be doing some. He has a couple of speaking events, I believe, next month. Yeah, he's going to be educating people about anime. Well, he should educate me about anime. The only thing I know about anime is Lupin, Castle of Cagliostro. But no, so yeah, he'll be calling in just a few moments, I'm sure. But one of the things is that I heard he got a job with Hasbro in the board game Clue. What does this mean? Roundhead talking smack. He's clueless, is what Cartel says. Anyways, I have everyone chatting down here in the chat at Sam Newsman on Instagram. That's where these guys are chatting right now. At Sam Newsman on Instagram, Sam Newsman on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well. We were trying to get TikTok up and running, but it seems that TikTok has crashed. Not exactly sure why. And it's the one. It's the one we're the most popular one. So, but here, anyway. So here we go. So I believe that I probably have Dave here on the line calling in now. Dave, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
All right, hold on. Wait a minute. I'm not sure exactly what. Hold on. There you are. Let me see. Are you there now?
Still here.
Just making sure, because here I am. I'm trying to mess around with these knobs because it seems like the people behind the glass over there don't want to do their jobs. But anyway, so we're here now. Dave, how are you this weekend? I hope you had a wonderful week, sir. Happy Saturday morning.
Well, I was fine. Now I'm deaf in one ear now.
That's exactly what happens. I'm not exactly sure what happens. So you see these guys behind the glass, they sit there and tell me everything's fine. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, oh, well, by the way, here we go. Patch him in. And then they don't. Anyways. So, Dave, sorry about your eardrums. I hope they actually are able to recover. So, how are you this weekend, sir?
Is this going to be a thing?
No. Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't know what they're doing back there. What are you guys doing? Do you guys have it up and running? Okay, they have it up and running. There you go.
The other ear now.
There you go. So, I'm not exactly sure how sometimes they mess this up, but anyway, sorry about your eardrums. I'm sure that you'll be able to get the government to pay for some type of hearing aid. But like I said, how are you doing this morning?
Well, fine.
So I was talking a few moments ago. So I did play a couple of things that you mentioned already. The Littles Season 3. Now, this is Season 3. We played the Littles about 2 weeks ago. We played Littles Season 2 last week. What's the difference? So how many seasons did the Littles actually have?
3 seasons and a movie.
And a movie. So that was in the theater where when did the movie actually come out?
Well, the movie was called Here Comes the Littles, and that came out in 1985, the same year as the last season.
Okay, so they had 3 seasons, and then they had this film. I guess the same production company did the whole thing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, but season three is a little bit different. Is there anything different about the season, or just the theme song, or what's going on here?
Well, yeah. See, the first season, it's about the little people living inside of one particular family's home. Season 2, the family moves, so that particular group of littles goes with them. And it's in a different house, different situation, different adventures. For season 3, they go on a world tour.
So a world tour. Are they giving concerts or something? What's going on here?
No, I mean the family just happens to go to Rome and Egypt and.
So they're traveling. I got it.
And they meet. Oh, here's the littles from Hong Kong. Here's littles from Paris, etc., etc.
Gotcha. Okay, so the next one that we have is the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries intro is 1984. How many Scooby-Doo intros did they actually make?
Oh, quite a few.
So what's the difference between this one? It says 1984. So this is, I guess, the third or fourth. I guess that's the fourth.
Well, technically, that is, 1983, it originally was the New Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show. And then 1984, they called it the New Scooby-Doo Mysteries.
Okay, so that was the name of the show on TV? I see that where here it says VHS capture, so I'm sure that this is from the VHS. But this was a syndicated show, I guess, on.
No, it aired ABC.
Okay, so it aired ABC on Saturday morning. Okay, I gotcha. So, and this was the what series of Scooby Doo? This is the fourth or fifth.
Originally, it was called the New Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show. But for the second season, they renamed it the New Scooby-Doo Mysteries.
All right.
And it's kind of I'd say like a lost gem of Scooby-Doo. Officially, they brought back Daphne.
Oh, what was she missing or something?
Well,
was she on vacation?
When they brought in Scrappy-Doo, they got rid of Fred, Daphne, and Velma.
Oh, so they got rid of everyone that mattered for the puppy that doesn't matter.
Right.
Ah, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so for this show, the main leads are Shaggy and Daphne. With Daphne, she's now a reporter, and Shaggy and Scooby are helping her out.
Ah, okay. So, all right.
And they also brought back Fred and Velma, but only for one episode, respectively.
I gotcha. Okay. So I guess they had a couple of more series and shows after this one, but this is still done by Hanna. This is done by Hanna-Barbera, though.
Still HB, yeah.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, HB had a wonderful facility here in Kings Dominion, up here in Richmond, Virginia. They had Hanna-Barbera Land, which was absolutely incredible. And of course, that happened during the 80s before Nickelodeon and Paramount started working together. And then the entire park just went to crap. But I tell you what, when it was Hanna-Barbera Land, we actually had Smurf Mountain. We had Smurf Mountain around here. And I tell you what, it was quite amazing.
I'm curious what Smurf Mountain would be. I mean, was that like a hill?
Well, I tell you what, if you go onto YouTube and you Google, or if you type in Smurf Mountain, Kings Dominion, there will be a video feed of someone going through Smurf Mountain and recording it. And so it's one of the most amazing things. Definitely takes you back. They had Yogi's Cave. They had, of course, the Scooby-Doo roller coaster. They had a whole bunch of fun stuff. This was back years ago here at Paramount's Kings Dominion. Well, it's called Paramount's Kings Dominion. Maybe it's just Kings Dominion now. Who knows? But when Paramount bought it, they ended up making a roller coaster, and they called it the Hurler in reference to Wayne's World. So they had Stan Mikita's Donuts that they came out with. I'm telling you, it was a crazy time when Nickelodeon and Paramount were taking over Kings Dominion and kicking out Hanna-Barbera. But I tell you what, there was those old days when Hanna-Barbera Land was a thing. Hanna-Barbera Land was a thing, and it was a magical place. But yeah. So anyway, so of course Hanna-Barbera Land. Like I said, just check that out. Smurf Mountain on YouTube. You can go through Smurf Mountain and pretend like that you were actually there. Now, Tito Santana. Now, before we get into this, so last week you made a couple of predictions, and it seems like that you fell short on a couple of them. But what are some of the surprises that came out of Elimination Chamber that you thought that were very interesting? Sami Zayn, of course, lost, but I did read the.
Yeah, I figured that.
So what was it? Was there anything else that kind of caught you off guard with the elimination? I know there was a New Japan. We won't get into New Japan because, well, of course, it doesn't matter because we're in America and all that matters is WWE. So, but one of the things that I did want to talk about, of course, was your thoughts on Elimination Chamber and what you thought transpired and how things were building up towards what the theme I just played a few moments ago, which that was the WrestleMania theme. So what did you think about last week's pay-per-view?
Okay.
Was there anything that stood out in your mind, or do you think it was just the standard thoroughfare? Was there anybody that actually won a?
Well, I have to admit, I was rather pleased to see that Asuka won.
Oh yeah, well, of course, yeah, definitely. Now the question is do you think that she will win at WrestleMania, or do you think she's just gonna? I mean, what do you think is gonna happen there?
Well, I don't know.
I'll give you a few weeks to let it simmer. I'll give you a few weeks to let it simmer. Don't want to put you on the spot right now, but let that start simmering right now. What you think is going to happen? Of course, we do know that Roman and Cody Rhodes are going to fight. That seems to be building up right now as well. I'm not exactly sure. I think Brock Lesnar is going to fight some guy that's like 7'7", some huge guy. Do you know what that's all about?
No, I thought he was still fighting Bobby Lashley.
No, not fighting Bobby Lashley. I think he's fighting that 7-foot giant or whatever his name is. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah.
Name starts with an O.
Right. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure who it is, but I think that's who he is wrestling. I believe that Seth Rollins is going to be fighting Logan Paul, I believe. And I think that John Cena will be coming back. So I think that'll be happening, I think, in the next week or so. But just want you to start simmering on your predictions, Dave. I'm sure that they'll have it's probably another 2-day event, a Saturday and Sunday event, I'm sure is what they're doing this year again. But I definitely want you to start letting it simmer. Okay, the last thing that I want to go over with real quick, we'll start teasing this, but you actually in a few weeks will be educating the masses about Lupin the Third. Now, Lupin the Third being my favorite and only anime that I really watched. I did watch. Was it Revenge on Titan, or is that what it was? Attack on Titan. See, I don't even know. See, that's where I come in. Like, I don't even know. But however, Lupin the Third, one of my favorites, and we won't get into it just yet because I'm sure we'll play another Lupin theme song next weekend. But the first one that I have here is Lupin the Third, the Green Jacket, the opening and ending theme. Talk to us a little bit about Lupin. Who is Lupin? And what is this particular theme about? Because I know that there's several different themes, but what makes this one unique? And who exactly is Lupin the Third?
Well, Lupin, it's funny. I'll get more into this at the show, but short version is he is a thief, and he is the grandson of Arsène Lupin, very, very popular French character. And Lupin, he is just sort of carrying on the family tradition. He is the world's greatest thief. And he pals around with his partner, Jigen, who's the world's greatest marksman. Goemon Ishikawa, the 13th, the world's greatest samurai, or at least he's got the world's greatest sword. And Fujiko Mine, named very appropriately after Mount Fuji. If you saw her, you get the joke.
And of course, there's also Zenyatta.
Yes, Inspector Zenyatta. They don't talk about this a whole lot in the show, but Zenyatta is actually is supposed to be the grandson of Detective Zenyatta, who was they called him the Japanese Sherlock Holmes.
Aha.
Are you serious? They had something like 130 novels or some very, very popular character in Japan.
So this particular theme, I see that it says here in front of me, 1971. This is the Lupin opening and ending theme, the Green Jacket. What? So is this the very first Lupin adventure?
Yes, this is actually the very, very first series, 71 to 72. Only 23 episodes, but some of the early work of Mr. Miyazaki.
What?
But yeah, they call it the Green Jacket because for this season, Lupin wore a green jacket. And when they brought him back for the second series, they had him wearing a red jacket. And that became kind of the thing.
Ah, he has a different colored jacket. I see what they're doing over there. Well, listen, so I'm very excited. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to be educating us more and more about Lupin the Third. I wanted to just start it off this week. So you do have an event coming up here soon. Where is your event?
It is Bonsai Con in Columbia, South Carolina.
And when does that take place?
It takes place March 11th and the 12th. It starts on the 10th, but yeah, Lupin the Third is going to be there. It's going to start at 5 o'clock. So be there or be square.
So you're doing a whole educational presentation about Lupin the Third.
Yes, and if I can get the equipment running, hopefully it'll be cool with me showing the pitch pilot.
Well, that's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to hearing more about this. Like I said, that was March 11th. You said Bonsai Con. That's down in Columbia, South Carolina. Down in Columbia, South Carolina. That's Bonsai Con with Deep Cut Dave. Deep Cut Dave will be giving a presentation about Lupin the Third. You're also doing another presentation as well. What is that about?
Yeah, that's well, I was going to call it Old Taku, but apparently that's copyrighted by somebody.
Okay, so you're going to do what exactly?
Basically, an anime look back. Just taking a look at some of the anime shows that aired in the U.S. 60s up through the 80s.
So your anime education, if you want to have it, will be at Bonsai Con in Columbia, South Carolina. That is the weekend of March the 11th, I guess, the weekend of March the 11th. So check that out, Bonsai Con in South Carolina. So like I said, and you'll be able to get some education directly from Deep Cut Dave about Lupin the Third and some other anime stuff. You know, I need to learn more about anime because the only anime really that I care about is Lupin and the Castle of Cagliostro. Like I said, I did watch Attack on Titan, but outside of that, I'm not really fluent on as much anime, I guess, as I should. But that's why I have you here, Dave. And of course, that's why we're playing this first theme of Lupin the Third. And I'm sure there's probably other themes that you'll be giving us over the next couple of weeks, as we're gearing up towards this event. Dave, I want to thank you so much for your time, sir. And of course, absolutely. And we look forward to hearing more about Lupin the Third next week. You have a wonderful rest of the weekend, Dave.
Hey, you too, man.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Dave, Deep Cut Dave, who's going to be giving a presentation on Lupin the Third. That's Lupin the Third. That's at Bonsai Con here in a couple of weeks. It is 9:55 here on the 25th day of February in the year 2023. I want you to just follow me at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, at Sam Newsman on Facebook, Sam Newsman on TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. Once again, we are broadcasting live, WDCE 90.1 FM. Download the Live 365 app if you're outside of the broadcast area. We have people listening all over right now, from coast to coast. Have some people in California right now. Shout out to DFS, Toy Cartel, some other people. Anime, of course, all you guys are out there in the West Coast. What is it? It's 9:55 here. So what is that? 6:55 over on the Pacific Coast. We have people listening and watching into the show. Why? Because this is the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. Shout out to Animal Mother Customs. If you want to have a G.I. Joe custom created for you, just reach out to Animal Mother Customs 80, and he'll be able to make all of your custom G.I. Joe dreams come true. We'll be back here on the other side of the break in just a few moments. But like I said, download the Live 365 app. Download the Live 365 app so you can listen to these songs we're going to be playing here over the next couple of minutes. Here on the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.